Greetings. I'm Dr. Brian Hoffert, Associate Professor of Religious Studies and History, and the coordinator of the East Asian Studies and History of Ideas programs. It's a tradition at commencement to present a candidate for an honorary degree, and for that individual to impart some wisdom on the graduating class. Today, it's my pleasure to present Dr. Eboo Patel. Dr. Patel has been recommended for this honor by trustees and faculty members of the Honorary Degree Committee and approved by the North Central College Board of Trustees. He is the founder and president of Interfaith America, a Chicago-based national nonprofit that was formed around the idea that faith should serve as a bridge of cooperation rather than a barrier of division. Named one of America's best leaders by U.S. News and World Report, he has worked with universities, governments, private corporations, and civic organizations to unlock the power and potential of America's religious diversity. He's the author of 5 books, an Ashoka Fellow, and he served as a member of President Barack Obama's inaugural Faith Council. He earned an undergraduate degree in sociology from University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and studied at Oxford University on a Rhodes Scholarship, where he earned a doctoral degree in the sociology of religion. I would now like to invite President Thomas and Dr. Patel to join me at the lectern. Madam President, it is my privilege to present Dr. Eboo Patel, so you may confer upon him the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters from North Central College.
On the recommendation of the Honorary Degree Committee, and with the approval of the North Central College Board of Trustees, in recognition of your exemplary service to the community, I hereby confer upon you, Dr. Eboo Patel, the degree Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, together with all the rights and privileges as well as the obligations and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Please join me again in congratulating Dr. Patel and welcoming him to the lectern as he delivers the commencement address.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I speak the password primeval. I give the sign of democracy. I will plant companionship thick as trees along all the rivers of America. Oh, to bring all to common ground. Nothing will do as well as common ground. Walt Whitman. I'm sentimental, if you know what I mean. I love the country, I just can't stand the scene. And I'm neither left nor right, I'm just staying home tonight, getting lost in that hopeless little screen. But I'm stubborn as those garbage bags that time cannot decay. I'm junk, but I'm still holding up my little wild bouquet. Democracy is coming to the USA. Leonard Cohen. Aren't you glad I didn't sing that? Congratulations, graduates. Thank you, parents, professors, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, friends, pets, any creature or being that helped you get here. You are deserving of gratitude. And I speak with intimate knowledge of that because I grew up 15 minutes from here. I have known about this fine institution for most of my life, and my mother, who had more impact on my educational journey than anyone else in my life, is here. So I thank her along with you thanking your parents, friends, family members. A round of applause for all. And what does being here mean? What is the significance of holding that diploma, of crossing this stage? It means that you know that the world is far more complicated than you once believed. It means that you have spent the last several years growing your knowledge base, cultivating your skill set, and you are therefore far more capable than when you entered. It means at a time when our diverse democracy is deeply divided, you can be counted on to build the bridges of cooperation. There are many ways to lead in a diverse democracy. I hope you engage in all of them. Vote, canvass, make speeches, start an organization, join a club, run for office, protest peacefully, but not during my speech. And also, host potlucks. Host potlucks to save diverse democracy? Yes, absolutely. Let me explain. A potluck is the ultimate democratic form. No mayor, no governor, no president, no general can command people to potluck. Mayor Worley, President Thomas, you are terrific people. You cannot command people to potluck. We do it on our own. It is an event of the people, by the people, for the people. It is street-level self-governance. And like everything else about self-governance, potlucks do not rise from the ground or fall from the sky. Someone steps up to host them. Everything always starts with a leader. Today I'm asking you to be that leader. By hosting a potluck, you are expressing your faith in the essential idea of democracy. You believe in people. Potlucks don't exist without people bringing a dish. Democracies do not survive without people making a contribution. Listen, there are some who think that it is sophisticated to emphasize all the things standing in your way, to highlight all the things you can't do. If you host a potluck, you are sending the opposite signal. You are giving the sign of democracy. You are speaking the password primeval. I believe in what people can do, in the contributions they can make, in the dishes they bring. Now, your belief in people should be tempered by a cold, hard look at reality. Yes, everyone has the potential to make a contribution, but not everyone faces the same circumstances. Some people are lucky enough to be born in houses with stocked kitchens and safe transportation. Other people face barriers, racism, sexism, homophobia, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia. These barriers do not define people, but they make them harder for people to make their contribution. So do what you can to reduce those barriers. Make your potluck more delicious by welcoming more contributions, but do not confuse the barriers for who people are. As the host, you have power. The power of the invitation. Power is good if it's exercised responsibly and in the service of the common good. How will you use your power as the host? My suggestion, invite a diverse group of people to your potluck. After all, whatever your favorite dish is, you do not want a dozen versions of it in your kitchen. You want biryani and hummus, salad and shish kebab, burritos and casserole. And you want the people who come to feel inspired and empowered to bring their best dish. A potluck is an opportunity for a diverse group of people to feel proud of their various identities. Hosting a potluck requires skill. You need to create a space where people can engage in enriching conversations and dishes can mix in creative combination. The magic at a potluck happens when one person's crusty bread recipe from Eastern Europe meets another person's spicy dip from the Middle East. And then these people, from different races and ethnicities and regions and religions, who have divergent views on tax policy and environmental regulation, and yes, even on more divisive and controversial matters, they are sharing stories of sacred family rituals behind their best dish. A diverse democracy requires spaces where people who disagree on some fundamental things can work together on other fundamental things. Make your kitchen one of those spaces. The host of a potluck has a subtle pedagogical role. You are teaching this disparate gathering of strangers how to be a community, which is to say, how to take responsibility for the common good. You signal that you need people to come early, to set up, to stay late, to clean up, to bring extra plates and silver, to make sure that food is properly labeled. People will follow your signal. I hosted my first potluck a few months after I graduated from college. I wish I could tell you that all of the aforementioned lofty ideals were in my mind as I called a handful of friends to join me on a cold February Tuesday night in Chicago. But the truth is, I was just very lonely and too poor to host a dinner party. Also, I can only cook one dish: masala potatoes. How many nights can you eat masala potatoes alone? My record was 6. And so I called a handful of people. We had an amazing time. As they left, they told me they were coming back the following Tuesday night and bringing friends. It was a good reminder. A potluck is not a dinner party. It's more rock and roll jam session, or jazz improvisation, or hip hop cypher than classical symphony performance. Expect your guests to bring friends, acquaintances, people they walk by at the train station. And it shows that a leader might start something, but if that leader is doing her job well, the community that gathers guides the endeavor in important ways. I worried a lot those first few potlucks, sleepless Monday nights, mostly about the vegans. I had a lot of vegan friends back then, still do. I was worried that they were going to be mad. Surely someone would bring meat and the vegans would take offense. Never happened. Because honestly, most of the time people are good and gracious. People knew there were a lot of vegans coming to the potluck, and so most made vegan-friendly dishes. Ever had lentil loaf? Give it a try. People who brought meat and dairy labeled their food clearly. Everyone seemed to operate on good faith and recognize that diversity is not always the dishes you like. I hope you have read and thought a lot about democracy here at North Central College. Hosting a potluck is making democracy happen in your home. It is one way to put the ideals that your student commencement speaker spoke of so eloquently into action. A potluck demonstrates that diversity is a treasure, that cooperation is better than division, that identity is a source of pride, that everyone is a contributor. So hold up that little wild bouquet. Plant the trees of companionship. Carve out the common ground. Host the potluck. Democracy is going to thrive in the USA because of you. Thank you.